Hey everybody, how's it going? It's your man here, Caterade5, and today I'm back with a 5-minute review where we look at a fan game in under 5 minutes. As always, remember that this is my completely subjective opinion. Let's get to it. Today we're looking at The Plan's Simple by Adel's brother and FL, who both worked on their first game with this project. This game has the players solving puzzles and playing minigames while they have to repay their boss, a crime mogul named Felix. Overall, The Plan's Simple is a solid game with clever minigames and puzzles that keep the otherwise heavy and disconnected story light. The largest difference in this game from a core Pokemon one is that there's no battling, and although I think no battling can detract from a game's plot development, it doesn't in this game, and I'd actually say that no battling fits this game, as it puts more focus on what shines the most, the puzzles and minigames. But one note before I get into that, some of the Pokemon that the player used had new moves on them if they were used outside of battle, which is a neat addition. But let's focus on those minigames and puzzles. Overall, I thought they were fantastic. Most of them were creatively thought of, like using a Mr. Mime's light screen to shield the player from lasers, or using a Rotom to break through electric locks. There were some really funny ideas too, like using a Gumi to slide through vents, or sliding across a slippery hospital floor like an ice puzzle. And one last thing, the location of all of those minigames and puzzles made sense in context of the game. Though, I wish the minigames and puzzles connected with the plot a little bit more. Overall, I just thought the story was a little disconnected. Like, you have the intro where the premise is set up and the end where everything is wrapped up nicely, but I just didn't feel like the plot developed that much during the body of the game. After the intro, the player is tasked with completing 4 things, but even after completing each task, the only thing that's included is just a single line of dialogue from an implied phone call with the boss, telling the player to keep going. Not that that's bad and the boss is still directing the player in the right direction, but I can't help but feel that there was a big opportunity missed there with possible plot development. It definitely would have made the ending payoff a lot more impactful. Before I go over the last major thing I want to touch on, I'll go over some of the less noticeable things in this game that are still important to talk about. Overall, the mapping's very solid, and I'm a pretty big fan of the Gen 4 tileset that's used here. My only complaint graphically is that there's no overworld shadows. I'm not sure why this is becoming a common nitpick in my reviews, but I think overworld shadows is a must-have for any Gen 3 Plus game. Audio-wise, I thought the music was good. I didn't hear anything that sounded out of place. I also liked the little nod to have the ice path theme in the part of the hospital with the slippery floor. The final thing I want to touch on is the dialogue. I know it's common of me to dislike the dialogue in these games, but I actually really like it here. My favorite dialogue is from the crime boss, Felix, whose dialogue read like he was picked straight out of The Godfather. I mean, the man literally says capiche. How much more Italian can you get? And it's not just Felix. I thought the inner dialogue of the main character was good as well. It was a good balance of jokes and seriousness, which also matched a lot of the dialogue with the NPCs. I really appreciate that the game didn't take itself too seriously in that respect. If it had, it probably puts more of the main focus on the storyline, which I wasn't a massive fan of. All in all, I think The Plan's Simple is a pretty quality game. Although in some areas it's a little rough around the edges, the excellence of its puzzles and minigames made me really enjoy my playthrough. I wish Adel's brother and FL the best of luck in the future with whatever they're working on. As always, make sure to mock punch that like button and of course subscribe if you have not, but that's it for today everybody. This is Caterade5 signing out. Thanks for watching everybody and have yourselves a good day.